निशभक्तानीशानीशान् अवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशां च तत्शक्ति कृष्ण चैतन्य संज्ञकम् वन्दे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्द सहोदितौ गौर उदये पुष्पवनतौ चित्रौ सन्दौ तमोनुदौ ग्रन्थिर आरम्भकोरि मङ्गलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान् तीनेर स्मरण होय विघ्न विनाशन अनायास सफल निज वांछित पूरण आजानुलम्बित भुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भररुचिवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading today Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. And today is a very holy day too, because it is the disappearance day of Sri Abhiram Thakur. So maybe we'll discuss a little bit about Sri Abhiram Thakur after reading a few verses as well. So without any further delay, we will read text 97 onwards, and maybe the last 15-20 minutes or so we will read about Sri Abhiram Thakur. So let's begin this text number 97. Krishna name ye ananda sindhu aswadana Brahmananda tara age khatodaka sama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Compared to the ocean of transcendental bliss that one tastes by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realization, Brahmananda, is like the shallow water in a canal. Purport. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is stated, Brahmando bhavedesha chet parardha gunikrita naiti bhakti sokhambode paramanu tulamapi. If Brahmananda, the transcendental bliss derived from understanding impersonal Brahman, were multiplied 1,000,000 times, such a quantity of Brahmananda could not compare even within could not compare with even an atomic portion of the pleasure relished in pure devotional service. Wow. So we have covered this section. We have discussed this verse. I think it's coming quite a few times, this topic, that the pleasure or the joy of bhakti, the joy of tasting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the pure devotees are always absorbed in, the pleasure of Brahmananda, that means merging in the impersonal effulgence, is nothing in compared to that. So we have discussed multiple times that there are three categories of pleasures. The bottom one is Jad Ananda. Then we have Brahm Ananda. Then we have what is called Prem Ananda. So as the name suggests, Jad Ananda is the pleasure of this world, material world, where we are there, eating, sleeping, people going to different intoxication, wine, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's Jad Ananda. Pleasure derived from senses, pleasure derived from interaction of the senses. Million times of that is million times Jad Ananda cannot compare to a drop of Brahmananda, the pleasure of impersonal effulgence. Right? So, and millions of times of Brahmananda cannot compare to a drop of Premananda. So this is the real goal. Prema Pumartho Mahan, Pancham Purushartha. And that's what is mentioned here. The Brahmananda is like shallow water in a canal. When someone has an ocean of nectar, why will someone run behind the shallow water in a canal? So this is what bhakti gives us. This is what the holy name gives us. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is answering to Prakashananda Saraswati here. Any other comments, thoughts in this text? Okay, we'll move on to next verse, text 98. Would anyone like to read text 98?
I can.
Yes, Mataji.
Just a second. Tvata saksat karanalada vishuddhabdi स्थितस्य मे सुखानि गोस्पद्यन्ते ब्रह्माणि अपि जगद्गुरु. Translation. My dear Lord, O Master of the universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Being situated in that ocean, I now realize all other so-called happiness to be like the water contained in the hoofprint of a calf. Purport. The transcendental bliss enjoyed in pure devotional service is like an ocean, whereas material happiness and even the happiness to be derived from the realization of impersonal Brahman are just like the water in the hoofprint of a calf. This is a verse from the Hari Bhakti Subodhya 14.36. Prabhuji, I didn't understand what is hoofprint of a calf.
Hoofprint of a calf. Thank you for reading this verse. You have seen a calf, right? Small baby calf. And calf makes a print, let's say in mud or soil. There's an impression.
Okay.
How much water is there in that?
Very
little. Maybe we can hold that in our palms.
right. Yeah.
In Hindi, they say chullu bhar pani, right?
Huh.
That's so. Will
Yeah,
someone aspire for that
no.
once when someone has an ocean of pure nectar? Why will someone aspire for maybe 10 milliliters of that tiny hoof print? It just scriptures are very poetic. It's just a poetic way of expressing that it's insignificant. Hmm.
Right.
It comes in multiple verses also. Hmm. The hoof print of a calf analogy is given in multiple other verses also. Anyone else recalls where it comes?
What is the question? Sorry.
The hoof print of a calf analogy, where else it comes? It's a very, very famous verse.
Yes.
We still have a latest class. Oh, yeah, I can't I'm trying to remember, but yes, I read that. I can remember. Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to share that verse. Let's read this since we're talking about hoof print of a calf. Samashritāye padapallavaplavam महत्पदं पुण्ययशो मुरारि भवां बुधिर्वत्स पदं पदं यद्विपदं न तेषाम्. Would someone like to read the translation of this verse?
I can read something.
Yes, Manoj.
For those who have accepted the vote of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. Their goal is Param Padam, Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. Back to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Very well. So here also we see what's a padam, or the hoof print of a car. So here it's mentioned in that the material world, which is very, very difficult to overcome. Sansara, Dava, Nalali, the Loka. It's so hard. We cannot overcome on our own. But one takes shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, this entire material world becomes like a tiny hoof print of a cow, not even a cow, but like a calf. Even a child can jump over it, right? That's the power of taking shelter of the spiritual master. So now back to this verse here. The analogy is that Goshpadiyante. Hmm? Hmm. Go Spadayante. Gosh Padayante. Like the feet, pada, of go or calf. So in short, one should not run after tiny, flickering pleasures. As mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, you know, ये ही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनेव हिवते आदि अंतवंत कौन्तेय नातेषु रमते बुधः. These pleasures which are derived from sense pleasures, like what are the major pleasures which everyone runs for? Food, right? Intoxication, then pleasure of opposite sex, then what? Money, cars, bungalows, prestige, name, fame, recognition, position. What else? Um, Money, yeah. All these are the pleasures people are running after. But they have a beginning and an end. Na teshu ramate buddha. The wise do not dwell in such pleasures. Where do they take pleasure? That's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the 10th chapter, I believe. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They take also pleasure. It's not that saintly people, their life is dry, their life is meaningless, their life is purposeless. No, they are they are they are inundated in the ocean of joy. Why just a tiny hoof print of a calf's joy, or why just very little? Hmm. As Prabhupada came and people were intoxicated to drugs, etc., and taking LSD. So because it keeps one high, that's what the people say. It keeps you high. But Prabhupada said, why don't we take to the holy name and say, stay high forever, right? Because that's real happiness, ever increasing, unending, unalloyed, pure. And that can only be relished through the path of bhakti, the path of chanting, the path of hearing about Krishna. The more we connect with Krishna, the more one will feel that joy. The more one will not feel the need for flickering pleasures of this world, name, fame, recognition, position, puja, la, pratishtha, right? Or desire for women, desire for intoxication, desire for anything which is not conducive to bhakti will naturally, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, whatever Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu, it will naturally go away. Like the sun rises and the what do you call the fog, the Shastras explain this, as the sun rises, the fog naturally goes away. Right? There's some mist, some fog. That's the power, of the sun. So when the sun of Krishna consciousness rises, the impurities naturally, the impure desires naturally vanish, because one is getting so much ocean of happiness, ocean of happiness. And that's what the real goal is. Ultimately, that the real happiness which will always be there with us, we all know that, is how much love and devotion we have cultivated towards Krishna. So thank you for reading this verse. Both the verses talk about the same topic, and that is the joy of bhakti. Anyone has any comments here? Text 97 or 98?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, for when they explain about the impersonalist, that they are also getting the happiness, which is like it's a happiness. It's compared with the ocean and the footprints of a cow. So, what type of happiness they are getting without devotional service, Prabhuji, for the Gyanis or impersonalist? What kind of happiness they get?
Hare Krishna. Very thoughtful question. Yeah. Their happiness is the negation of suffering. And actually, like in the material world, let's say some powerful person puts our head inside the water, right?
Yeah.
And we are gasping for a moment of breath, right? And we are suffering, we are like, it's suffocating, we're about to die. And then he pulls us out and asks, how do you feel? What will we say?
Horrible.
No, after coming out.
Oh, coming at the relief.
Coming,
Great
yeah,
relief.
we'll feel, wow, I feel
Wow.
I feel so nice. I feel better. I feel relieved. I feel that's material world. Hmm? So much one has to work for what? Momentarily happiness. All these happiness, whether you call, one may get from all the senses, right? Good food, good smell, good music. This is temporary. One has to work 10 hours to get 10 moments of so-called happiness. So-called happiness, flickering happiness, right? Mm. That's material world. Mm. And after all, so much Adi Bhautik Kaleshas, Adi Devik Kaleshas, Adi Atmik Kaleshas, right? Always torturing us, bothering us, troubling us. And absence of suffering in this material world is considered as so-called happiness, right? Now, when one enters impersonal effulgence, which is not the goal of a bhakta, and which is actually an unstable position in itself. Prabhupada mentioned that so many purports that one will come down because the nature of the jiva, we are anandamaya bhasat, we are pleasure-seeking beings. But somehow due to wrong association or following the wrong guru or following the wrong scriptures, one feels that that's the goal of life. But there is only negation of negative, right? We all know about this kind of this axis, right? Number line or axis. So is the positive axis and then the negative axis, right? So material world, we are always floating here only, up and down, sometimes happy, sometimes joy. When one gets to impersonal effulgence, one may get to the zero axis. There is negative things are not bothering, but the bhakti graph begins from the positive. We are pleasure-seeking beings to experience different rasas with the Supreme Lord. Five primary rasas, secondary rasas. We are, imagine you have a very big house, very nice cars, very, everything you have, great food, great, but there is no one to talk to. There is no one to share that. There is no one to experience that joy with. No one will like it, right? How big the house may be, how big the car may be. So this is pure spiritual world. Our devotional service brings us to the highest joy. So this is not just negation of the bad, but there's a whole positive dimension. So relatively, one may feel, oh, I have less suffering, or Adi Bhautik Kaleshas are not bothering, my neighbor is not bothering, the diseases are not bothering. But that's not the goal, right? The goal is to experience the bright side, the positive side, and that's what bhakti is. Does that help?
Yes, Babaji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else wants to add there? Any comments? Okay, then we can move on to text 90. Actually, it's a long purport, and actually today is the disappearance day of Abhiram Thakur. So we will read a little bit about Sri Abhiram Thakur from It's a bit long, but let's see if we can cover a little bit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Okay, maybe let's read from here. So, if anyone would like to read, today is the disappearance day of Sri Abhiram Thakur. Very, very great Vaishnava, very, very compassionate Vaishnava. And to give a brief background, as per Gaur Ganodesha Deepika, Abhiram Thakur in Krishna Lila was Sri Dama, the elder brother of who will complete? Sri Radharani.
Oh, okay.
The elder brother of Sri Radharani. So let's read a little bit about this wonderful personality, and then we'll discuss. Yes, Bhaswati Mataji, and then Subal Prabhu can read.
Sri Abhiram Thakur was known as Abhiram Gopal and also as Ram Das Biram Das, who was previously known as Sridham. A Gopa during Krishna Lila is now renowned as Abhiram or Ram Das. He was the favorite of Nityananda Prabhu. One day, Krishna, Balaram, and their cowherd friends were playing a game of hide and seek. In the middle of their game, Krishna decided to go to Nadia to enjoy his pastimes there. And so, taking with him Balaram and all their friends, he adventured himself in Navadvip. Somehow or other, he forgot Sridham, who remained in his hiding place in a cave. After a while, Krishna noticed that Sridham had been left behind and sent Balaram as Nityananda, who found Sridham and told him, "Come on, we have all gone to Nadia to play there." Should I stop? I can stop.
You can read a little more.
Sridham asked, "Who are you?" "I am your Lord Balaram. Can't you recognize me?" "You can't be my Lord Balaram. You are too small." In Kali Yuga, the measurement of the body is 3.5 hands, whereas in Dwapar Yuga it is 7 hands. If you don't believe me, then take off running. If I can't catch you within 10 paces, then you will know I am not Balaram. "All right, catch me if you can." Sridham took off running, but Nityananda Prabhu immediately caught him. But now Sridham told him, "Now looky here, you dudes left me behind, so I aren't going to your Nadia or whatever the joint is called."
There you go. Is everyone following what's happening here? So, in the Dwapar Lila, Krishna was playing with his friends, Nityananda Prabhu, the 12 Gopals, or like the intimate associates, the Sakhas, like Vishala, Subala, Stoka Krishna, Sridama, Madhumangal, etc. They were all playing hide and seek. And on Govardhan, like they used to play, and Sridama hid, others hid. But somehow, when Sridama hid and others, the play ended, but Sridama, the yuga also changed. He was still there, right? Now the yuga has changed, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing his pastimes in Nadia, Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan, Patiyache Nam Hata Jivera Karan. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his brother Sri Balram, Sri Nityananda Prabhu is doing his pastimes there to doing the Sankirtan Leela to deliver the fallen souls. Now he is thinking, where is my Sridama? He's remembering Sridama. and he is unconscious. The Lord turns unconscious because he is thinking of his beloved intimate associate, Sridham. And Balramji says, okay, I'll fetch him. So Balramji comes to Govardhan and sees Sridhama is still there. And Nityan Prabhu says, or Balramji says, hey, come. Krishna is calling you. Right? Krishna is calling you. And Sridhama says, who are you? Hey, I'm your Balai, right? I'm your Balram. These two, friends, they have nicknames, right? They don't, sometimes they have nicknames, right? Close, they may, so Sridhama called Balram as Balai. I'm your Balai, right? Hey, if you are my Balai, you look tiny, right? So Lord Balram, the yuga had changed. The height was more in Dwapar Yuga and more in the Treta and then more in Satyuga. As we know, the yugas progress, the height reduces, the intelligence reduces, the age reduces, all the factors reduce to a great scale. So then Balai explains that, well, why don't we have a race? He says, okay, I will run, Balai, if you can catch me across Govardhan. So then I'll believe, because only Balai can, even Kana cannot catch me, because I'm faster than him. This is the friendship of the Sakas. Kana cannot catch me. In fact, there is a beautiful story that Sridhama, when they went to Mathura and when Krishna kind of punched and killed Kamsa, Sridhama said, well, this is not my Krishna. Because Kamsa is the king and Kamsa is very powerful, but I can't defeat Kamsa. But he can defeat Kamsa and I can defeat Kana. So this, if right, consider Sridhama as, Sridhama can defeat Kana and Sridhama cannot defeat Kamsa. And this person can defeat Kamsa. So that means this person is more powerful than me. But I can easily defeat Kana. So therefore the two are different people. Very interesting logic. Yes. And then Kana said, well, I'm your Kana. Why don't we have a fight? I said, okay, if I win, then only I'll be able to believe. And guess what? They have their fight. The big fight is done. Kamsa is killed. Now Kana and Sridhama are fighting. Sridhama defeats Kana and they say, oh, he's my Kana. That's their intimate friendship. This is what we're talking about, the spiritual positive rasas, Sakhya rasa. So anyways, back to this story. So this personality then believes, this Sridhama believes that yes, you are my Balai. And then let's see what happens further. Yes, we pause till here. Yes, Gopal Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees and all Krishna Srila. Nityananda Prabhu kept coaxing him, but Sridhama was adamant. Finally, he manifested an expansion of himself. Ramadasa, who agreed to go, but Sridham still wanted to remain behind as his feelings were greatly hurt. Ramadasa was also dissatisfied and very prone to anger. When Nityananda Prabhu's first child was born, Abhirama Thakura came to offer his obeisances to the child, who died on the spot. In this way, 7 of Nityananda's children had to depart from the world just after taking birth. Finally, a daughter, Ganga Devi, was born to Nityananda Prabhu and Vasudha Devi. When, after offering his obeisances to the child, Abhirama Thakur saw that the baby was unaffected, he exclaimed, "This time we haven't been deceived." Then he immediately composed 100 verses in praise of Ganga Devi. When Veerachandra Prabhu took his birth, Abhirama again came to offer his obeisances. When he saw that Veerachandra was unaffected, he composed Sri Brihad Rashtakam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So, isn't that so interesting? Abhiram Thakur, also known as Ramadas, had many extraordinary transcendental attributes. To share a few, if he would offer obeisance to anyone and they had a tinge of material desire, what will happen? The end. Right there. If Abhiram Thakur offers, so he would not offer obeisances to anyone and everyone. And that's what we just read. He offered obeisances to first a few children. They were, by the divine will of the Lord. But then Ganga Devi and then Veer Chandra, showing that they had no tinge of material desires. If attribute 2 or quality 2, if Abhiram Thakur offers obeisances to a deity, which is where Krishna is not personally present, the deity would explode. Haribol. Or a Shaligram or a deity. So one time, some people caught him and says, hey, brought him to Durga temple and say, hey, you offer, obeisances to her. She's our worshipable. And Abhiram said, well, it might be better if I don't offer obeisance, because no, they forced, you have to do this, that. And then Abhiram Thakur offered obeisance, and that was the deity, disappeared, Durga Devi. And in multiple other cases like that. Quality 3 or attribute 3, Abhiram Thakur had a whip called Jai Mangal. And if he would not literally whip like a hunter, if he would touch that whip to anyone, that person would develop your unalloyed Krishna prema. So that's Abhiram Thakur. So many wonderful attributes, so many wonderful pastimes. So we just read about Nityan Prabhu's children. Let's read one more story here. Anyone would like to read from here? Yes, Sheetal Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. If Abhiram Thakur would offer his obeisances to any stone other than a Shaligram Shila, that stone would crack. One time, Abhiram Thakur came to Srikhanda wanting to meet Raghunandana Thakur. Mukund Das was aware of his reputation and thus told the Thakur that Raghunandana wasn't there. Feeling disappointed, Abhiram departed. When Raghunandan heard that Abhiram Thakur had come to meet him, he ran to catch up with the Thakur. Finally, he met him at Danga, where they danced together in ecstasy. When Raghunandana was dancing, his Nupur ankle bracelet came off and fell down at Akhaihat, where Kalia Krishna Dasa used to do his bhajan. This Nupur is still being worshipped along with Kalia Krishna Thakur's deity at Karvi, not far from Katwa. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you can complete the story, Mataji.
Okay. Gopal Guru Goswami was also similarly tested by Abhiram Thakur when he was only a small boy living with Mahaprabhu in Puri. By the mercy of Mahaprabhu, who invested his potency in Gopal Guru, the boy emerged unscathed. Abhiram Thakur's Sripad is at Khanakul Krishna Nagar. Khanakul Krishna Nagar can be reached by bus from Tarkeshwar, which is connected by train from Bandel station. It can also be reached by bus from Attapur, the Sripad of Padmeshwari Das Thakur. His wife's name was Sri Malini Devi. his worshipful deity Sri Gopinathji, who, after first appearing to him in a dream, manifested himself at Khanakhul Krishnanagar. The legend is that he appeared in a dream to Abhiram Thakur and said, I am within the earth here. Please take me out and worship me. Abhiram Das excavated in that place and found within the womb of the earth the all enchanting form of Sri Gopinathji. That place where the deity was found became known as Ramkund. In the place where Sri Gopinathji adventured himself, a lake was formed, and the water contained therein was sweet as nectar. Whoever bathed in or drank that water became beside himself with ecstasy. Thereafter, this land has become famous as Ramkund. Having heard of these divine pastimes of Sri Gopinathji, an incessant flow of people descended on that place like the waters of the Ganges river. Bhakti Ratnakar Taranga 4. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Maybe we'll take a pause here.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here the stories are mentioned maybe in a little bit abbreviated way, this story. So what happened, we have heard the story of Raghunandan Thakur, who was the son of Mukunda Dasa, who was the doctor. So Mukunda was out one time and he told Raghunandan, please offer to the deities, Gopinath. And Raghunandan, being a small child, his mother gave him bhoga and said, okay, you offer. Raghunandan, offering means eating. Like we eat food, so we eat and it goes in the body. So Raghunandan, whatever way his father told him, he said, my father has told me I must offer food to Krishna. Please eat. Gopinath, please eat. With genuine love, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Patram Pushpam Phalam to is offering. Radam Bhakti Upaharitam Ashnami Prayat Atmana. I accept. Krishna says, whatever with love and devotion it's offered. And Raghunandan had that in great abundance. So he offered that. But the food was as is. So he was thinking, what happened? Maybe my father will come. He'll scold me. Krishna, why are you not eating? Please eat, please eat. He started crying and tears of devotion were pouring. That was Raghunandan. And then the mother asked, okay. So finally, Krishna appeared and started eating, picking from the plate and eating, literally. Of course, he literally eats through his eyes also. Angani yasya sakalindriya vritti manti pashanti panti. He can eat, he can perform all the actions through all of the senses. But in this case, he ate, and then the food was not there. So mother asked, where is the Mahaprasad? Where are the remnants? He said, what remnants? Krishna ate, Gopinath ate. You told me to offer. He ate. Wonderful. Haribol. Mother was confused. Few days passed. The father came back and said, where is the Mahaprasad? I said, what Mahaprasad? And I'm giving it to Raghunandan and, the plate comes empty. I don't know. What is he doing? You go and see. And Mukunda gives to Raghunandan and he's behind the door seeing from a distance what's happening. And when he sees Gopinath is actually coming and eating, his heart was melted. He says, actually, you are the father. You are so superior to me in bhakti. Although technically he was much younger as his son, But so this news spread everywhere and it also went to the ears of Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur said, I want to meet such a great soul and I want to offer my Dandavat. And what that means, tinge of material desire, that person will not be there. So mother was scared. Oh my God, my child, he's just a child. Okay, Krishna, all those pastimes are there, but so mother kind of hid the child in the neighborhood or somewhere. The mother hid the child to protect. Abhiram Thakur is coming now. She cannot say, "Hey, you can't meet him," but somehow she went away. But by the divine will of the Lord, great souls want to meet parasparanukathanam. They want, sangha of each other. So Raghunandan wanted to see, oh, the great Abhiram Thakur is coming, the most compassionate, the most benevolent, the most transcendental. So he wanted to meet him. So he comes. The mother was sleeping by the arrangement of the divine, and then and Raghunandan prostrates at the lotus feet of Abhiram Thakur, and then Abhiram Thakur reciprocates. But nothing happens to Raghunandan because he is a pure devotee with no tinge of material desires. And then, as we read here, then they were um, chanting and dancing and great joy. And then this Nupur pastime comes. The anklet came off while they were dancing in ecstasy at Borodanga. They met, they offered obeisance to each other, nothing happens, and this pastime happens. Same with Gopal Guru. Gopal Guru was also a child. Now, this is even more interesting. Abhiram Thakur came to test him. Gopal Guru is the same personality where Lord Chaitanya was going one time to cleanse the bowels, and he was holding. He couldn't resist himself from not chanting, but then he was trying to hold the tongue, like to stop chanting because it's an unclean place. And Gopal Guru said, who knows that death cannot come at the time of passing stool? Kamala dala jala jivana tala mala. Anything can happen any moment. And the holy name is so pure. Like we cannot read Bhagavatam in the toilet. We cannot chant Vedic mantras in the toilet. We cannot do deity worship in the toilet. We cannot read Gita, reading there. We cannot have a program there. We cannot do a lot of things in an unclean place. We cannot do, and it's not recommended. It should be done in a clean place. But the holy name, Namna Makari Bahudan Sarva Shakti Statra Pita Niyamita Smarane Na Kala. There are no hard and fast rules. Right? One can chant holy name anywhere. So Gopal Guru explained this to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, okay, now you will be called as Gopal Guru. And now this news reached to Abhiram Thakur. I want to offer obeisance to him. And then, oh my God, like little child, he's a little child. And then the Abhiram Thakur comes and he's about to offer, and Lord Chaitanya was there. So Gopal jumps in the lap of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Abhiram Thakur offered obeisance. And can you imagine, like in the lap of Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then nothing happened there again because he was also pure. And by the touch, by the lap, in the lap of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all Nashtapraya Shubha, this little boy emerged unscathed. Like that, there are so many wonderful pastimes. Even this deity was excavated, the deity manifested in this place, Krishna Nagar. This picture is also there. Here, I believe there is a picture of this deity somewhere I saw. Veerabhadra Prabhu. Where did I see the picture? Okay, here. Yeah. Krishnanagar, yes. Abhiram Thakur worshipped the temple Sri Gopinathji deities. Yes, Gopinath appeared in the dream of Abhiram, and then I'm buried here. Please take me out. Sri Gopinath, the worshipful deity of Abhiram Thakur, in the temple below. So somehow the orientation is a little bit here and there, but these are those deities. So I believe you can still go to Kanakula, Krishnanagar and take this darshan. Siddhavakula, this tree outside the temple where he was waiting for Raghunandan also. So wonderful holy places. So we have covered that. So just to conclude, let's conclude our class with this mantra. Anyone would like to recite the mantra here and the translation?
I can read, Prabhuji. Vandeham Sri Sri Gopinath Mahaprabhu Vijayate Jatra Viramo Mahan Goswami Sri Juto Padakamalam Malini Shoitam Shakta Bataram Shagana Charanam Bhuje Shado Sharanam. Obeisance to Sri Sri Gopinath, the worshipful deity of Sri Abhiram Thakur. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. May I always meditate on the lotus feet of the great Abhiram Goswami, the empowered incarnation, along with his spouse Malini and other associates. Again and again, I take shelter of the lotus feet.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So we discussed quite a few things about Abhiram Thakur, his appearance, the Dwapar Yuga story connection, hide and seek, Jai Mangal, Gopal Guru, Raghunandan, and some pastimes with the offering pranams to deities and his deity Gopinath, etc. So in short, on this holy day, just read the prayer. We should offer our obeisance to these worshipable Nitya, Siddha devotees, they are eternal associates of the Lord, Sridama, Abhiram Thakur, and beg for mercy, beg for nothing but pure devotional service at their lotus feet. So we can also develop that pure bhakti, develop that pure Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much for joining. We'll pause here. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Shri Abhiram Thakur Tirobhav Divas ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.